bright new students, our future. I'm with you. Excellent. All right. There's nothing more important than we do than to welcome select new students, our future, to this campus. And tonight, we get to celebrate the next generation of Penn State football. They will follow in the footsteps of our greats. They will join the current players, and our future, as you heard Coach Franklin say it on that video, our future is so, so bright. I want to thank all of you for helping make today a success, for helping make our future what we know will be a success, because the young men that join us today for our football program join in large part because of you, because of what you represent to this university and what they know they will have here. Our football staff, our athletic department support staff are all sitting over here. They have come to the end of a very, very long race, and they've done it very, very successfully. And frankly, the next race starts tomorrow, if it's not already started. But I want to thank them for what they have helped to do for this university to bring these great young men here. So thanks everybody for being here tonight. It's a celebration. Let's have fun with this. Let's have fun with Coach Franklin, because frankly, that's easy to do, right? So with that, let's bring up the leader of the Penn State football Nittany Lions, our head coach, James Franklin.
Coach Franklin, everybody, let's hear it.
Just want to take a few minutes, just want to take a few minutes and thank everybody for coming out. Can't tell you how much we appreciate. The staff has done an unbelievable job working hard to bring a group of young men here that are going to represent the community the right way, that are going to do great on the football field, and most importantly, do great in the classroom. So we're really, really excited. You're going to get a chance to see some of their highlights tonight. We're going to answer a few questions. Last year I thought was good, but we wanted to be in this room, so I thought it'd be a little bit more intimate, be able to interact with everybody. But I can't tell you how much we appreciate you, because people talk about the academic reputation and the stadium and the size and all that stuff, but what it really comes down to is the people. That's the thing that I've been blown away with since arriving here in State College, is the passion for Penn State, the passion for athletics, the passion specifically for football. So you guys are what makes Penn State special. So thank you so much for coming out tonight.
It's been a great day today. This is one of the greatest days in Penn State history, especially the James Franklin era. Let's meet the coaching staff that made today happen, Signature Day 2015. You want to bring the guys up?
Yeah, I'd like for the coaching staff to come up so we can introduce them real quick.
They're hiding over here somewhere. Come on up, guys.
Come on up, guys. Come on up here. All right, let's give it up for the best staff in the country. Our offensive coordinator, John Donovan. Let's give it up for John. Our offensive recruiting coordinator and wide receivers coach, Josh Gaddis. Let's give it up for our offensive line coach, Herb I.O. Twitter Hand. Let's give it up for our special teams coordinator and running backs coach, Charles Huff. Let's give it up for our quarterbacks coach, Ricky Rodney. Give it up for our assistant head coach, co-defensive coordinator, linebackers coach, Brett Pratt. Let's give it up for our defensive line coach, Sean, a.k.a. Coach Chaos. guys another round of applause.
All right, Coach, some of the guys, we signed a brand new bunch of Nittany Lions today, but some of the guys came up here a couple of weeks ago. You've seen them around campus. Tommy Stevens, Sterling Jenkins, and Paris Palmer. Let's bring those guys up on stage here and get to know some of the newest members of the Penn State football team. Let's bring up Paris Palmer. Give him a round of applause, folks.
I'm 6'2". Okay? A couple things I want to ask a few questions. Paris Palmer from Plymouth High School in Plymouth, North Carolina, was at Lackawanna Junior College, 6'8", 300 pounds, selected Penn State over Arizona State, Baylor, Miami, Ohio State, South Carolina. Highlights are showing. You can see them on the screen. But before we get started, I wanted to ask Paris a few questions. Ultimately, why did you choose Penn State?
Well, coming from junior college, a lot of people come in with the same problems. Either they were athletically gifted, but academically they didn't have the right tools to go on to the next level in life. So, back when I was, basically sitting in my room with 3 other roommates, I would always just dream about the type of school I wanted to go to. I wanted a school that would challenge me academically as well as on the field and make me a better man in the process. And I feel as though that this coaching staff was definitely the coaching staff that I knew could make me a better man along with a better player and a better person in the classroom.
Question is, what are your goals as a member of the football team? Individually, collectively, what are your goals?
Well, individually, I feel as though like when I come in, I know that I'm older than all the other early enrollees, but I feel that there's still a learning curve to go from junior college to major D1 football. So individually, my goal is just to come in, and just to get acclimated to the program as quickly as possible, just to be able to, mesh well with the guys and be able to learn how, they do things the Penn State way correctly. And basically, just to grow as a person and as a man while I'm here, because I know that, these next 2 years of my life are probably the most important years of my life, because I know that in the long run, I'm going to leave here with a Penn State degree that's going to be able to take me wherever I want to go in life. So that's basically my individual goals. Collectively, my goal is just to, get a good feel for the locker room and everything, make sure it's a very family-oriented locker room, because, like I said, again, coming from junior college, there's not really a lot of family-oriented going into it, because it's more of, I have to get my offer as well as you have to get your offer, or, at the end of the day, you won't play any more football for the rest of your life. So coming into a real family-oriented place like Penn State, I just feel as though it's easier for me to get acclimated and everything, and to just mesh well with everyone, and to just come in and just contribute as early as I can.
All right, another mid-year enrollment player here. Let's bring up Sterling Jenkins, Coach. Come on up, Sterling.
And remember, I'm 6'2".
Look at him. Frankly, the same size.
Sterling, at the time that he committed to Penn State, was the #1 recruit in the state of Pennsylvania. And one of the things I think is about that was last year when we got the job, there wasn't one player in the top 10 players in the state of Pennsylvania committed to Penn State. I know that sounds crazy, but the fact that Sterling jumped on board with us early really gave us momentum and got us going. So very, very appreciative of that, and he's doing a great job. As you can see, Sterling is going to be a short yardage cornerback for us. We're going to use him on 4th and 1 to cover the receivers out there. And he's also going to kick field goals, so they're in positions to play for us. I want to ask him the same question. Ultimately, why did you choose Penn State?
Well, I think the main thing that helped me decide Penn State was that I wanted to go someplace where I get the ultimate support from my coaches and my peers around me. And it was really important to find some place that I was comfortable with and somewhere that I could call everyone around me my family. And when I came here, it was just a different feeling than any other school I've been to, any really situation I've been to, really. And I think that it showed that this was the place for me. And when I went to sleep at night, it was all I could think about was Penn State. And so I knew that
It might have had something to do with, too, that his grandmom used to call me and email me all the time and tell me he's not going anywhere but Penn State. So that had something to do with it, too. What does it mean for you to play for your home state's flagship institution? What does it mean to stay home?
I take great pride in being here and representing my state well. I'm from Pittsburgh, so being able to come here and represent, because some of my family have actually played here, so I think that it was important to represent my family, who I am as a person from Pennsylvania, by coming here.
We all know that Pittsburgh is Penn State country. We're the whole state. We represent the whole state. We're the state institution.
Sterling Jenkins, everybody. And our last media enrollee here is part of the class of 2015. Let's bring up Tommy Stevens.
They call him Sunshine.
Let's see why.
Tommy is from Indianapolis, Indiana, Decatur Central High School, position quarterback, 6'4", showed up here at 186 pounds in 2 weeks by eating every power bar in the weight room. He's already 200 pounds right now. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, NC State, Purdue, and West Virginia. Question we asked the other two guys is ultimately, why did you choose Penn State?
It was a hard process overall. I think the thing that separated Penn State from all the other schools was definitely the people, and you guys make that possible with all the support you guys bring. There's not a place like this place. It's unbelievable, and I only took one visit here, and that was enough to show me that this is the place for me. So, love that. I also want to introduce my family. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, so that's 8.5 hours away. My family decided that they wanted to make it up here, so they're standing right over here. My little sister's in the front, my little brother Asen, my cousin Jackson are in the middle, and then my mom is on the far right. So.
Welcome to Penn State. The other question is, now that you're here, what's your favorite aspect of Penn State? What's the thing that you've noticed?
The thing that I've noticed the most is probably the family-like feel that has, been brought to me. I feel like I've been very welcomed from the very beginning, and the guys in the locker room have took me under their wing, and as far as the coaching staff as well, they really took care of me. So I'm glad to be here, and I can't can't wait to make the next step forward. So.
Tommy's one of these guys that is so appreciative. I get text messages at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night out of nowhere just saying, Coach, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I love it so much. And a lot of times guys don't do that anymore. And you know, the fact that he's so appreciative and so humble about the opportunity he has at Penn State is one of the big reasons why he's going to be so special for us on the field. So let's give it up for Tommy.
Those are the newest members of the class of 2015 right there. And we have new members to Beaver Stadium. Sign when they sign. Can you all stand up here for us? All our new members, all of our new season ticket holders over here to our left. Thank you guys so much, you guys and ladies, for joining the family here at Beaver Stadium. We're excited to get you in there. Celebrating 8 times a year.
I do want to show the highlights for Paris Palmer because I don't think they were showing. I want you guys to get a chance to see those highlights. Again, you're talking about a 6'8", just under 300-pound athlete. Got tremendous speed and flexibility. I think he really can take his game to another level by being real nasty on the field. You watch him here as a blocked field goal. He catches it, takes it in the end zone, showing his athleticism. I know it's hard here sometimes to see offensive line, but if you see him in space, it's very, very important that we went out and got somebody that we could protect Hackenberg's backside. That's very, very important. That's what you guys all agree. We have some guys in the program that we feel real highly about, but this is another guy that's going to be able to come in and compete with them, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create the most competitive environment in the country. So a few clips up here that we feel really good about. He's able to come off the ball, be physical in the run game. Most importantly, he's able to protect the quarterback, play in and play out. And the thing that's most exciting is his best football is ahead of him. I think he's just scratching the surface of the type of player he can be. He's commented to me about the work he's doing in the weight room right now with Coach Galton, our strength staff. We're really, really excited about what he's going to do. Lackawanna Junior College and Coach Duda, they've done a great job as position coach, Coach Pardini. I've known those guys for over 20 years, and I think that was a big factor as well, the trust. And we're excited about what he's going to be able to do for us.
Paris Palmer right there, Coach. All right, let's get some of the guys on the offensive side of the ball.
I'd just like to mention something real quick. You know, I've been hammering the media about this stuff, and they never seem to want to write these articles. They write about recruiting. When something bad happens, they want to write about that. And I want to make sure you guys understand this because I know how important it is to you. Not only are we going to recruit real hard, and not only are we going to coach and develop the players we have, but I want to make sure that you guys know that the same things that are important to you, that our guys are doing it right in the classroom and they're doing it right in the community, we believe in that so strongly. And a few examples I want to make sure you guys all are aware of. This past fall semester, the football team did more community service than they've ever done before. We did 1,900 hours of community service this past fall. Academically, we had 51 players get a 3.0 or better this past semester. We had three all-time records for the football program academically. We had 25 players make the dean's list. We had 21 true freshmen with their first semester on campus. We all know that's the most difficult semester. 21 of those guys got 3.0 or better their first semester, and we have 57 players now on our team with a cumulative 3.0 or better GPA. So I want to make sure you guys I also want you guys to watch Sterling's highlights because I don't know if you got a chance to see them while he was up here talking. Sterling, you know, think about this. He graduated high school. He shows up the very next day on campus. I think he's one of the most improved players in the country. Our strength coaches are so excited about this guy's development and how much better he's gotten, even in the 3 weeks that he's been here on campus. You're talking about a guy that has all the measurables, all the physical skills you're looking for, but also has the mentality. You look at here, pancaking guys. And I want you guys to understand this. When you're 6'8", and you're going against high school guys that are 5'9", 5'10", that's not as easy as you would think. It's actually going to be a lot easier for him going against guys that are more similar to his size. Think about it. He's 6'8", he's standing out here, he's trying to block a guy who's 5'9", who has built-in leverage. So he's able to bend, he's able to move, but he's one of the most improved players in the country. I truly believe that, and I think his future is extremely bright. Now you watch him here being able to protect the quarterback. That's something that's going to be very, very important, not only this year, but years in our future, and we think he has the ability to do that. Most importantly, he wants to do it. He wants to be at Penn State, he wants to be a part of our program. So all these highlights are online. I strongly encourage you guys, get online, check them out. I'd love for you guys to tweet at the football department as well as me. I want to know who your 3 favorite players in the program are, so tweet out and let us know. But this is Sterling. You'll see him in Paris walking around campus. They're hard to miss.
And let's take a look at Tommy Stevens as well. Our man from Indiana. Let's show Tommy Stevens up here, Coach.
Tommy's an exciting player. You're talking about a guy who's 6'4", is 200 pounds, can hurt you with his arm, can hurt you with his mind, can hurt you with his feet. He's a guy who took his high school program, put it on his back, won a bunch of games, really made that program respected in the state of Indiana, in Indianapolis. But you're talking about a guy who played running back growing up, has played receiver. He made All-State as a defensive back as well this year. But I think he's an exciting player that you guys are going to enjoy watching for years to come. Was committed to another school in the Big Ten. We were fortunate enough to swing him in our direction. But I think you guys are going to be excited watching this guy compete for years to come. I think also the fact that he's going to be able to train this spring behind Hackenberg and Tracy McSorley, I think is going to be invaluable for him. And he's just so positive about being here at Penn State. Also a physical player. Watch him here. He's willing to mix it up as well. One of the things I love about these guys is they're football players. They're not just one position. You'll see all these guys, you see them punt, you'll see them play defense, you'll see our receivers playing defensive back, you'll see our defensive backs playing receiver, and that's what we want. We want as much flexibility in the program as possible. So there he punted the ball, then went down there and took the guy's head off. Here he intercepts the ball playing safety to seal a win for his team. So you're just talking about a true athlete who also has the ability to play quarterback and be a threat in so many different ways.
Tommy Stevens, folks. Another athlete who just got into the squad today. Plays basketball, plays track. He's going to play football. Going to play running back here for us at Penn State. Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley, local guy from Whitehall, Pennsylvania, Whitehall High School. Running back, 5'11", 210 pounds. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Northwestern, Notre Dame, Indiana. Michigan called him last week to try to swing him. Michigan State, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, and he was actually committed to another Big Ten school. Watch his play when he hurdles the guy. If you guys would rewind that, I don't want them to miss that play. If you could start this from the beginning. Saquon has a habit of hurdling players in high school. Does it all the time. It's technically illegal to do in high school. We got into a conversation last week. He told me, Coach, I don't plan on hurdling guys in high school. I said, well, that doesn't, I don't plan on hurdling guys once I get to college. I said, well, that doesn't make sense to me because you hurdle people all the time in high school and it was illegal and you're allowed to do it here in college. So he said, well, that makes sense, Coach. I'll hurdle people in college too. I said, good, I like that. He's also a big guy. You're talking about a guy that's going to be able to run for power. He's going to be able to make you miss. His highlight tape is exciting. When I talk to the other commitments and ask those guys, they love watching him play as well. He's able to break tackles. He's able to make people miss. He's a receiving threat out of the backfield. He's able to return punts like this play right here. He's just a dynamic player. We got really good running backs in the program. I think he's going to be able to come in and challenge those guys and compete with them, and that's what it's all about. Exciting players in every phase of the game. Keep watching. I love this last move.
It's a 10-yard line.
10-yard line.
This is fun. I like watching this. So again, I want everybody to watch all these highlights. They're online, and then you can have an opportunity to email who you think the best players in each recruiting class was. The players are going to be watching, so be careful.
All right, let's bring up our next guy here. We have a few guys from Archbishop Wood, Philadelphia. Ryan Bates.
Ryan Bates, Archbishop Wood High School in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Offensive line, 6'5", 275 pounds. His high school's won the last 2 state championships. Selected Penn State over Auburn, Boston College, Duke, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Maryland, Miami, Florida, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, South Carolina, and Virginia. Guy that we think can play multiple positions. We think he has the ability and the footwork to play tackle. We think he has the nastiness to play guard. We also think he has the intelligence to play center. He's a guy that we think we're going to start at the center position. We think he can be the quarterback of the offensive line, but he gives us the flexibility to move to all these different positions. So the other thing that we love about him is he's a winner. He comes from a great program there with Coach Devlin. He jumped on board right away. I remember being at the house and being here actually for a junior day, and his mom started crying and dad hugged me. You know, they're Penn State people, and they're so appreciative of the opportunities they're going to have here. So watch him as a pass protector, watch him in the run game, and we think this guy can do it all. He's also the Pennsylvania Football News Lineman of the Year in the state.
That's Ryan Bates right there. All right, let's go to a tight end here, Nick Bowers. Nick
Bowers from Katanning Senior High School in Katanning, PA. He's a tight end. You're going to watch his tape. It's interesting. He's a tight end, but in high school he played receiver, he played linebacker, he played running back, he played wishbone quarterback. You're talking about, watch this kid in high school, you're talking about a 6'4", 250-pound athlete. He's got the biggest hands out of any guy that we recruited this year. We think he has a chance to be really good. He can be an inline tight end. He's going to be physical in the running game. He's got a chance to flex out and make plays. He came to our 7-on-7 camp and did a really, really good job. He chose Penn State over Michigan, Pittsburgh, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Had been committed for over a year, and we were able to swing him in our direction in the last 2 weeks, which was interesting. But we're so happy to have him.
That's Nick Bowers right there. This next is one of the top 10 guys coming out of New Jersey, 6'4", Irvin Charles.
Irvin Charles, a wide receiver with a bunch of personality. You guys are going to love this guy. Paul VI High School in Haddonfield, New Jersey. Now this guy, you know, this isn't recruiting heights that you see on rivals. This guy is legitimately 6'4", 215 pounds. Chose Penn State over Alabama, Boston College, Florida, Georgia Tech, Indiana, Iowa, Louisville, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Purdue, Rutgers, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Talking about a playmaker. You're going to watch him return the ball. You're going to watch him play in defense. Not only can he make you miss, he's a physical player as well. I love watching him block as well. We got 2 6'4" receivers that can really hurt you in a lot of different ways. It's going to give our quarterbacks a lot of different targets. You watch his tape, it doesn't really look like he's running because he's so tall, but nobody can catch him. Really, really impressive guy. We couldn't be more excited about him joining our program. There he is playing running back at 6'4". You know, you're talking 215 pounds. Watch this last play here. Got tremendous confidence. Got tremendous confidence in his ability, breaking tackles, making people miss. I think this guy has a chance to be really special for us.
That's wide receiver Irvin Charles. All right, a couple of guys coming out of Union City High School. This guy is actually the heaviest guy coming into this year's class, Steven Gonzalez.
Steven is from Union City High School, Union City, New Jersey. If you've never been there, it's an interesting place. It's a beautiful brand new school, and their football field is actually on top of the high school. It's about on the 3rd story of the school. It's pretty interesting. You want to make sure you never have a really good punter there because you'll never get the ball back. You're talking about 6'4". You're talking about a very slim and sexy 328 pounds. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Duke, Illinois, Louisville, Michigan State, Ohio State, Rutgers, South Carolina, Syracuse, Virginia, and Wisconsin. We see him being an offensive guard, has a chance to be a road grader for us, play both ways on the offense and defensive line. Broke his team's single game sack record this year at 5 sacks in one game. Really excited about him. Had over 60 pancake blocks this year. Was first team All New Jersey offensive lineman. Had over 30 tackles on defense, 10 sacks. We think this guy is special. Had everybody coming at us and stuck with us. I don't know if you guys saw the story at his signing day today. You know, one of the big things for him is he lost his dad last year, and he had an open seat for his dad at the signing day ceremony. Had a jersey on for his dad. You know, and that was really, really special to him. He wants to make his dad proud. His dad's a huge fan of Penn State, and that's one of the big reasons why he's coming in.
Speaking of guys, another big receiver coming out of Jersey, Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson, another 6'4" wideout. You're talking about having 2 6'4" wide receivers on either side. Glassboro High School, Glassboro, New Jersey. Position wide receiver, 6'4", 212 pounds. Is also a track athlete. Competes nationally in track. Is one of the fastest guys in New Jersey. Chose Penn State over Alabama, Arkansas, Boston College, Georgia Tech, Michigan, North Carolina, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, South Carolina, and Virginia. Not only is he 6'4", but he's got a reach of 34.5 inches. So you're talking about a guy that's really going to play almost like he's 6'6", 6'7". One of the things you watch on tape, he's unique, is a lot of times the tall guys, they can't transition. Him and Irvin, you saw him hurdle right there. Him and Irvin have the ability to run straight line, but they also have the ability to make you miss and break tackles and be physical. So we're really, really excited about what these guys are going to be able to do in our passing game for years to come. It's really not fair. Really, really talented player. We're so excited about him joining our program. Watch his last play. Again, out and up, goes up and high points the ball. It's not fair, like I said.
That's Juwan Johnson right there. This next guy played with one of our current guys, Trace McSorley, and we talked about the heaviest guy on the team coming through in 2015, Steven Gonzalez. This is the lightest guy coming through, Brandon Polk.
Yeah, Brandon, he played with Trace McSorley in high school last year. He's the fastest guy in 100 meters. He ran 10.38. He's won the 100 meters as a 10th grader and as an 11th grader. Big time athlete. This guy can really run. He's a guy you get the ball to in space. Not only does he have the speed, but you see here, he's got the quickness to make people miss. And then once he gets into open field, no one's going to catch him. You're talking about Briarwoods High School, Ashburn, Virginia, 5'9", 163 pounds. For his signing day, we sent him a box of power bars because he's got to put some weight on. He's 163 pounds right now. I think he'll show up at 175 pounds and have a chance to compete for us. So, exciting player. Chose Penn State over Boston College, Maryland, Pittsburgh, Stanford, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and Wisconsin. Again, you get the ball in his hands, he's going to make things happen. Guys look like they have angles on him, and he runs away from them. One of those guys you watch on tape and you see in college games, you say, well, how did he get so open? Well, because he's clearly just so much faster than everybody on the field.
Brandon Polk right there, folks. This next guy comes from a high school that produced LaShawn McCoy, Ricky Waters. He's coming through as a running back as well now as a Penn State line, Andre Robinson.
Well, not only did Andre come from the same high school as Ricky Waters and LaShawn McCoy, but he broke all their records. You're talking about a guy from Bishop McDevitt High School, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, running back, 5'9", 220 pounds. He's a ball of muscle. Chose Penn State over Boston College, Louisville, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, Virginia Tech. I could go on and on. If you follow Pennsylvania football, this guy's been playing at a very, very high level for his entire high school career. He's been highly recruited since he was in 10th grade. He's got a great mom who's done a great job raising him. He's a guy that jumped on board with us early. Another guy that's so positive and so excited about joining this class. He's also a guy that's doing a great job recruiting for us in the future. He's going to be able to break tackles because he's strong enough. The guy that has the speed to be able to run away from you. The guy that has tremendous vision as well. Play after play. He's just one of these guys. He has play after play that's 60 yards, that's 80 yards. Again, you're not sure how necessarily fast he is, but nobody catches him. Over and over again, making plays. I think he has a chance to be a tremendous player for us.
That's Andre Robinson. That wraps up the offensive side of the ball for 2015. Let's go with the defensive side of the ball, Coach, and bring up our first guy, linebacker, Manny Bone. Talk about Manny Bone.
We think Manny's a really exciting guy. I think you guys are going to love watching his highlight tape. Another guy that can do things on both sides of the ball. I actually think he could play safety. I think he can play running back. I know he can play outside linebacker. Talking about a guy that can really run. Barnegat High School, Barnegat, New Jersey. You're talking linebacker, 6'2", 206 pounds. Selected Penn State over, there's too many schools on here for me to really read. Alabama, Boston College, Clemson, Maryland, Florida, Miami, NC State, Oregon, Tennessee, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, everybody, really everybody. Really special player, team captain, ranked among the top 10 prospects in New Jersey, the 14th best linebacker in the country. Look here on offense, playing wide receiver. We love guys that are going to be able to intercept the ball and now turn into offensive players, put points on the board. You're talking about a guy that has all the skills. I think he has a chance to turn into a 225-pound ball of muscle. I would go and see him, I'd give him a hug and I'd pat him on the stomach, and I probably shouldn't do that because he's a rock. And it makes me feel really bad about myself because I'm mushy and he's hard as a rock. Great kid, got a smile on his face all the time. And you look at him and be able to diagnose plays, be able to get downhill, strike you with violence. I think he has a chance to build on the reputation, the linebacker you. Talking about a guy that makes tackles from sideline to sideline. Can't really run away from him. Again, you look at him playing wide receiver here. He's a threat to make plays. You're going to see that be a common theme with the guys that we recruit. We want to recruit guys that can play all the field and have a lot of different skills.
That's Manny Bone right there. All right, let's go back to the Philadelphia Malvern guy from Great Valley High School, Ryan Buchholz.
Ryan Buchholz from Great Valley High School, Malvern, Pennsylvania. Position, defensive line. Talking about a guy who's 6'6", 241 pounds. Think he has a chance to grow into a really physical defensive end who also has the athleticism and hips. You see him here up batting the ball down, coming off the edge, blocking punts like he is here. He's also a guy you watch his highlight tape. He can play tight end. He's got that type of athleticism. Coach Chaos doesn't want me to say that. He's a wild dog, going to play for him. But just a tremendous player. Comes from a football family. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Duke, Illinois, Maryland, Northwestern, Pittsburgh, Purdue, Rutgers, Virginia, and West Virginia. Just a dynamic player. Look at him here playing wide receiver at 6'6", 241 pounds, making people miss, breaking tackles, running to the end zone. Talking about a guy and a bunch of recruits with a lot of different skills that we're going to be able to take advantage of. Watch him here playing tight end as well. Guys that you're going to be able to use on special teams with fakes and things like that. Just a tremendous jumbo athlete.
That's 6'6" D-lineman Ryan Buchholz, folks. Here's another wild dog here, Camonte Carter.
Camonte Carter was one of our earliest commits from Gaithersburg High School in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Defensive lineman, 6'4". What's interesting about Camonte played outside linebacker in high school, and he played quarterback. And the whole time we were recruiting him, he was telling us how he's 235 pounds, he's 240 pounds, and then he came on his official visit, we put him on a scale, he was 260 pounds. Carries it extremely well, got tremendous growth potential. You guys have heard me say before, I like guys with big hands, big feet, long arms, long legs, and massive heads. He's probably got the second biggest head compared to Sterling Jenkins. You guys all saw Sterling's nugget when he was up here, right? Second biggest head in the recruiting class. Selected Penn State over Illinois, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Nebraska, NC State, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, and West Virginia. Dad also played college football, but again, you see him all over the field. Defensive end, outside linebacker, quarterback. Does so many things and does them well. We believe that the game of football starts and ends up front with offensive line and defensive line, so we're going to recruit heavy at those positions every single year. These guys are going to allow the linebackers to be the type of players they can be. They're also going to help the defensive backs so they don't have to cover very long. We think Camonte has a chance to be a really special player.
That's Camonte Carter right there. Another guy from Archbishop Wood, he's in Texas right now, actually, when we talked to him this morning, playing down there. This is Jake Cooper right here.
Yeah, Jake's at an all-star game right now in Texas from Archbishop Wood High School in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Linebacker, watch this play, I love this play. Great play, watch how he knocks him back, he knocks the guy's head off. 6'2", 226 pounds. He's a guy that really can make a quick decision, can figure out the play, reads the guards, reads the backs extremely well, can defeat blocks. He had over 150 tackles this year. Again, their team won the state championship 2 years in a row. Him and Bates were a big reason why. Can cover sideline to sideline. When he hits you, you go backwards. Also runs extremely well. Here's a shot right here, running sideline to sideline. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Duke, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Northwestern, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, and Virginia. Just a great player. You're going to love him. He's so polished. He's so well-spoken. So excited about being Penn State, a part of the program. His dad, we went and did the home visit. His dad was like, Coach, do you mind it? We invited the neighbors. They're huge fans of Penn State, so I thought it was going to be the neighbors, like just one neighbor. And we got to the house, and there was not only his family, but 25 people from the neighborhood going crazy, wanting autographs, and I just kind of wanted to hang out with Jake a little bit, but it was really cool. And it just shows the passion, it just shows the pride of Penn State and our fans.
That's Jake Cooper right there. This is a guy, a lot of people heard about him yesterday. This is the newest member, the true newest member of the team, Kevin Gibbons from Altoona.
Kevin Gibbons from Altoona. We were able to get on the phone with Kevin yesterday, or 2 days ago, excuse me. I don't know what that is. It looks like Japanese. Someone translate, please. But Kevin Gibbons, we got on the phone with him 2 days ago. We're able to see if Penn State was something that he'd be really interested in doing, offering, and he jumped on board with us. Kevin we're going to play him at defensive line. In high school, he played running back and played outside linebacker. We're going to try to get his video up here. Kevin's a guy that came to camp. Talking about a 6'1", 250-pound athlete, chose Penn State over Pittsburgh, had been committed for a long time. We would have offered him a long time ago if we had had all our scholarships. When we got him back, got involved with Kevin, and he jumped on board. We must have a problem with the video right now, so I apologize, but it will be online. But make sure you check him out, because the guys, if you remember, last year we offered scholarships to 2 players the night before signing day. That was Torrance Brown, who's a defensive end who redshirted for us out of Alabama, and another guy named Christian Campbell, who started for us as a true freshman. We offered those guys the night before signing day. This is another guy that we think has a chance to come in and make an impact just like that.
It's Kevin Givens. All right, let's go back to linebacker, Daquan Kelly.
Daquan Kelly, another linebacker, another young man from Union City High School in Union City, New Jersey. Played safety in high school and played wide receiver. We recruited him to play outside linebacker. You watch him here playing wide receiver. Again, a guy who can make plays with the ball in his hands. You're going to see some plays on this. This guy is a physical guy. He's always got a smile on his face, but he plays angry. Watch him right here. He is a physical guy. Union City High School, Union City, New Jersey. Linebacker 6'2", 205 pounds. Chose Penn State over Boston College, Illinois, Michigan State, Nebraska, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, Virginia, and Wake Forest. One of the things I think you guys see here is you're talking about a bunch of guys that could have went anywhere in the country and wanted to come to Penn State. But we're not really caught up in the stars and the rankings and things like that, but what we do pay attention to is guys that have multiple offers from a lot of schools, because that shows that not only do you see these characteristics in them, but a lot of other people do as well. So Coach Pry's got 3 really good guys to work with that we're excited to continue to build on the legacy of linebacker U.
Daquan's teammates for Stephen Gonzalez. All right, let's bring up our next guy here. Jarvis Miller, Coach.
Jarvis Miller from Suffield High School in Suffield, Connecticut. Jarvis was the very first commitment of the class. We had a junior day. Watch him here playing running back. We had a junior day. We wanted to just make sure Jarvis was as tall as he said he was. You know, a lot of times recruits say they're 6'1", they walk through their door, and they're 5'10". Jarvis is going to be a big kid. He's at least 6'1". You see him playing running back, you see him playing safety. He walked in the door. We liked how he looked. We loved his demeanor. We loved his transcript. I said, Jarvis, we're going to offer you a scholarship. And the P just got out of my mouth. He goes, I'm coming. And I go, excuse me, Jarvis, we're offering you a scholarship. This is why the reason you should come. He said, Coach, stop selling. I'm coming. So I shut up, took the commitment, gave him a big hug. Awesome kid, awesome family. Suffield High School in Suffield, Connecticut. Defensive back, 6'2", 197 pounds. Chose Penn State over Boston College, Maryland, Michigan State, Syracuse, and Vanderbilt. One of the things that's really interesting about him is he also has his black belt in karate, and actually growing up he competed internationally. All over the world he competed in karate and martial arts. Just an awesome kid. Is so excited and so positive about coming here and making an impact for us on the defensive side of the ball as a safety. That's Jarvis Miller. Watch him here.
Jarvis Miller. All right, earlier today, for signing day, we were calling all the guys, we were FaceTiming them, and this next guy, when we went to call him, people might have seen it on ESPN, they had a story about it, but you want to explain what happened when we tried to call Sharif Miller this morning?
Yeah, Sharif Miller, you can put his bio and start the film up there. Sharif Miller from George Washington High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Defensive line, 6'5", and a skinny 230 pounds. I mean that. You're going to see this kid and think he's 210 pounds. I called him to Skype with him today, and PJ had 2 of the digits mixed up. So we go to Skype with him, and this guy comes on to film, and he's in his car, and it's not Sharif.
He spit out his coffee.
Yeah, it's not Sharif. And I'm like, oh, this must be Sharif's uncle or brother that we haven't met. And I go, hey, congratulations. And he goes, thanks, Coach, appreciate it. And I'm like, is Sharif there? And he goes, Coach, no, you have the wrong number, but I really appreciate you calling me. And we're looking at each other, and he must have his son with him or something in the car with him, because he keeps looking next to me. He goes, it's Coach Franklin. He's FaceTiming with me on the phone right now. Thankfully, this guy was a Penn State fan and a fanatic, and he goes, great job, Coach, we love what you're doing. We're huge Penn State fans. He's never been to a game, so we're going to invite him to a game, but really awesome. So guys, do me a favor, stop showing me and PJ on the, nobody wants to see us. Keep the players up there. Let us talk and just keep the film going to the players. Take me and PJ. Thank you. Sharif Miller chose Penn State over Arizona, Arizona State, Florida, Illinois, Miami, Michigan State, Oregon, Pittsburgh, Purdue, Rutgers, Syracuse, Tennessee, Virginia, Virginia Tech, West Virginia. I think this is one of these guys who's going to get on campus. He's going to be 255, 60 pounds, a blink of an eye. Tremendous athleticism. Goes to a great high school, won a bunch of games there. Coach Cohen's a good friend of mine. Has done a great job. Actually, this school is like 4 minutes from my mom's house where I grew up. So, obviously a lot of relationships there and connections. You're talking about a guy that can really run coming off the edge. Sharif Miller.
George Washington, Philadelphia. All right, let's go to a guy from Washington, D.C. This is a D-back, Aaron Monroe.
Aaron Monroe, great story about Aaron. Aaron is from St. John's High School, St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. Defensive back, 6 foot, 197 pounds. You watch him here playing running back. Again, you're talking about athleticism. He's a big-time track athlete. Watch him make people miss and then burst down the sideline. 6 foot, 197 pounds. Chose Penn State over Boston College, Georgia Tech, Iowa, Maryland, Mississippi State, Nebraska, Virginia, and Wake Forest. This guy didn't really have a chance. I recruited his older brother to the University of Maryland, who ended up finishing his career this year as the all-time leader in sacks in school history. I actually offered him, I think when he was in 7th grade at the home visit, recruiting the older brother. So we go way back. Got a great relationship with his mom and dad and his other brothers. But you're talking about a big-time football program who's produced a lot of players from this high school. We think he has a chance to come in and be a special player for us. Came to camp. He's going to fit in well on campus, socially and academically. He's just a whole package. I think you guys are going to love this guy.
Aaron Monroe. Next guy from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You talked to him this morning as well when he was driving.
Stop showing me and PJ. Nobody wants to see us.
This guy called us up earlier today. Thought he's excited to be here. Just got him on board as well. John Patrician.
John Patrician from a storied program in Central Catholic High School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Defensive back, 6'1", 190 pounds. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Maryland, Northwestern, Pittsburgh, Purdue, Syracuse, Virginia, Wake Forest. Watch this play, it's a tremendous play. West Virginia and Wisconsin. You're talking about a guy that really had a great high school career, came to camp, put up unbelievable numbers, ran well, jumped well, had tremendous ball skills, and then just had an unbelievable senior year. Made plays all over the field, blew up nationally in recruiting. He's a guy, if you look at it, his offer list had offers from Ivy League schools as well as schools all over the country, the Big Ten, SEC, and we're so happy to have him. He was a guy that had told us he was coming, but wanted to make his announcement, either on TV or through Twitter. He's got a lot of personality, really, really confident. Again, I think Terry Smith and Bob Schubert made a really big impact in the WPIL and also Western Pennsylvania, and Pittsburgh specifically. So getting a guy out of a storied program like this, I think is gonna be huge for us for years to come. He'll hit you. He can return balls, he can return game. But he's got great ball skills as well. Watch him return to this punt here, John Patrician. Just a playmaker in so many different ways.
All right, that's Johnny Patrician. From the other side of the state, out of Philadelphia, St. Joe's Prep, John Reed.
PJ, where'd you go to high school?
St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, I know.
He built a computer over Christmas break, this guy. Yeah, this is the smartest guy coming in.
This guy's a special guy, there's no doubt about it. John Reed, St. Joe's Prep High School, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Defensive back, 5'10", 181 pounds. Chose Penn State over Alabama, Arizona, Boston College, Colorado, Georgia Tech, Maryland, Miami, Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Virginia, and West Virginia. You know, back-to-back state champions as well. You know, really a unique guy, really driven, really focused. He came to we had a barbecue this summer for all the players called the Lash Bash. All the guys were out, you know, playing cornhole and playing horseshoes and just having a great time and enjoying himself. And this guy and Coach Shoup just sat up watching film for like 5 hours. This guy's a junkie. When he came on his official visit, all he wanted to do was talk football. All the other players were going out to enjoy themselves with their player hosts. This guy just wanted to sit in and talk football. He's so driven academically. He's so driven when it comes to football. He would like to be a part of the honors college. You know, he'd like to study computer engineering. Just a special guy. You see him returning punts here. You look at him on the offensive side of the ball, making plays. You look at him on the defensive side of the ball. Really could have went anywhere in the country. We're so glad that he's going to join us here at Penn State.
It's John Reed right there. Another D-back here, Coach, from Virginia, Garrett Taylor.
Yeah, Garrett Taylor. Garrett's from St. Christopher's High School in Richmond, Virginia. Defensive back, plays corner. He's 6 foot. He's 197 pounds. One of the things that's most impressive about this tape is all from his junior year. Garrett tore his ACL and sat out his entire senior year. Was still one of the most highly recruited players in the country. Selected Penn State over Boston College, Clemson, Duke, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisville, LSU, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Mississippi. I can go on and on and on. Just a big-time player. Consensus 4-star prospect. U.S. Under Armour All-American selection. Had an opportunity to play in the U.S. Army All-American game. We think this guy has a chance to come in and make an impact right away and compete in the secondary. That's his mentality, like all of our guys. Really, really excited. This guy played against Hack in high school, so there's some familiarity there. You look how physical he is, as a press corner, and then coming down and making an attack. Big, physical, athletic corner who can make plays. Watch him time and time again making plays all over the field. Watch this last play. Breaks on the ball, gets downhill, picks up fumbles, makes all types of plays in so many different ways. Here he is, a receiver going up and high pointing the ball on a fade.
It's Garrett Taylor right there. This guy is coming all the way from Wisconsin, Robert Windsor from the D-line.
Yeah, this has traditionally been a huge recruiting area for Penn State. Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Fond du Lac High School, defensive lineman, 6'4", 280 pounds. A guy that we were able to get on late. I think you guys are going to really like this guy. This guy's kind of an old school guy in terms of really blew up his senior year. High school coach told him these are the things you need to work on. He worked on all those things all season. He's a legitimate 6'4". He's a legitimate 270 pounds, skinny in upper body. All of his weight is in his butt and his legs, which I love. He's got a chance to be a 300-pounder. Played extremely well as a senior. Chose Penn State over Illinois, Iowa State, Maryland, Purdue, Vanderbilt. His home state school, Wisconsin, offered him about 2 weeks before signing day, and he came to Penn State and fell in love with it. His family fell in love with it. His dad is a doctor and did his residency at Hershey Medical, so there was some connections there. But we think this guy has a chance to be a special player too. Big physical defensive tackle.
Robert Windsor. All right, and our last guy, Coach, who plays both sides of the ball, Jonathan Holland. Tell us about him.
Yeah, Jonathan should have been shown with the tight ends. He's a guy that can play tight end or defensive end. He's told us he wants to play tight end, so that's where he will play for us. But you're going to watch him on this film make play after play after play. Jonathan Holland, the Bullis School in Potomac, Maryland. Defensive line, tight end, 6'4", 235 pounds, chose Penn State over Boston College, Clemson, Florida State, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, North Carolina, NC State, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Virginia, Wake Forest, and West Virginia. It's going to be a wild dog for us. He's going to be a big-time player for us. Got tremendous athleticism. Comes from an unbelievable family. You know, I didn't know. We were doing the home visit, and my aunt, who works at the University, works at Howard University, Washington D.C., knows this family. He went to a camp there when he was in 7th grade. So we just had so many connections. So proud of this guy. I think he has a chance to be a big-time player. It's a great school academically, so he's going to be prepared to come in and make plays there. But a tight end, he's going to make plays with the balls in his hand and also be able to be a physical blocker as well.
That's Jonathan Holland, folks. And that wraps up our 2015 class, Coach. But talk about, before we get into what's going to happen for Blue White Weekend here in a second, we're going to give them the time of the game. I know you have that. I'll talk about the importance of getting these guys to Penn State and how big of a role the people in this room and around this community play for Penn State and for recruiting here.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's so special is this community and how everybody embraces. So you guys are going to be a big part of their transition and making them feel like home when they get on campus. You know, we're so proud. You know, you think of some of the things that we did this year. Like I said, last year we didn't get one player. When we got the job, there wasn't one player. The top 10 players in the state of Pennsylvania committed to Penn State, which is crazy. We got 7 out of the top 10 players in the state of Pennsylvania to stay home. We believe in the state, we believe in the education, we believe in how these guys are going to be prepared to come and be successful here academically. We believe in the high school teachers, we believe in the high school coaches, so we made a commitment to that and had a lot of success there. We signed 12 players on offense, we signed 13 players on defense. 22 players come from a 350-mile radius of campus. We got Kevin Gibbons being the closest player from Altoona. We got Robert Windsor, the farthest player from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. You got Paris Palmer from North Carolina, Stevens from Indiana, and Windsor from Wisconsin. We got 11 signees from the state of Pennsylvania, most since 2004. Think about this, only 3 players, only 3 Pennsylvania signees in 2014 total. Only 5 in 2013, only 4 in 2012, only 5 in 2011. So to think about the fact that we were able to go out and get 11, we're really, really proud of that. 11 commits rated 4 stars or higher. 13 commits rated 4 stars or higher on the 247 or Scout. Most 4-star signees, if you're into all that stuff, since 2006. So we're really, really proud of these guys. We think they have a chance to be special. But the most important thing is going to be how we develop them when they get on campus. So, guys, we can't tell you how much we appreciate your support. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I think PJ is going to give you guys a couple of events that are going to be so important for our future coming up. The Blue and White Weekend, what's the official date?
April 18th is the date, Coach.
And the time?
4 o'clock p.m. We'll do it. 4 o'clock p.m. in Beaver City. We'll see everybody up there.
Last year, the second largest spring game in the country was 75,000 people at the spring game, and we thank you for that. But as you guys know, we don't like being second place in anything. So let's try to get 107,000 in the stadium with another 100,000 out tailgating having a heck of a time. And let's make a statement to this country that Penn State is back.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming out. We appreciate it. Signature event 2015. We'll have these guys coming up in June, and we cannot thank you anymore for your support here at Rec Hall for the signature event and sign day 2015. It was because all you made it so special. Thank you so much. And give it up again for head coach James Franklin of the Penn State football team.
Thank you so much.